of Patético Madrid, that's Spanish for pathetic, to Barcelona's attempt to sign Julian Alvarez. Also, Barcelona nearing the sign of Bernardo Silva. And finally, Josko Gvardiol being offered to Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Boo, and welcome to the Barca News Live podcast, which is on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where not only we discuss Barcelona news, but we also get to interact with you lovely people, my Barca News family, by reading your comments live and reacting to them. So start filling out the chat section with your comments, your questions, anything you want to get off your chest. It doesn't even have to be Barca related. It could be like, Mo, my girlfriend cheated on me. And I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, bro. Dump her. No, hopefully that's not the case. But anyways, start filling out the chat section. Of course, for those of you who'll be watching when the podcast ends, I will be putting timestamps in the description and chapters in the timeline in case you do want to skip through the discussion and get straight into the news, even though I don't recommend that because the discussion is usually the best part of the podcast. This is why I love podcasts. In fact, today I'm ecstatic because not only is it podcast day, it's also Friday. Fridays are always nice. The weekend's here. Finally, the weather is getting great here in New York, so I'm excited for the weekend, but I'm also excited for the podcast. Friday, podcast, put them together, and well, what do you get? You get a very happy Mo who's sipping on some wine because I deserve it. Yes. The elixir of the gods. I had a very long day today. I had to go to court. But here's the thing. I had to go to court that's very, very far away. I had to drive 1 hour and a half each way. So I'm tired. I'm exhausted. But that's okay. That's okay because I'm here with you guys, my Barca News family. And I'm ready to talk about today's summer transfer. Well, not today. This summer transfer market, which is kicking off with a bang because Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen, is rocking the market, is rocking the football media, is rocking the world pretty much. But we're going to talk about all that. Don't worry. Before, of course, I would like to remind you to please hit the like button. Very, very helpful for the channel. In fact, the like is what the best you could do for the channel. The more likes a video gets, the more the algorithm recommends that channel to people who've never seen it. Of course, drop a comment if you're watching this when it ends. If you're watching this live, drop a comment in the chat section. And finally, subscribe so you can get the latest and most up-to-date Barcelona news because, well, that's what we do here, right? That's why the channel's called Barca News. It's not called Barca something that happened 5 years ago. It's Barca News. Anyways, let's begin with the news. Ooh, excuse me. My throat said no. Let's not begin with the news. But fuck you, throat. We're going to begin with the news. Let's begin with the news. And we do have to talk about Julian Alvarez because things are heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Barcelona, man. Who would have thought? Who would have thought after 5 years of financial hardship, after 5 years of not being under the 1-1 rule, after 5 years of struggling to register players, to sign players, this summer, Barcelona said enough. They said enough, and they have started the summer transfer. Well, the summer transfer market actually hasn't even started, right? It starts July 1st, but nonetheless, Barcelona have started the summer swinging. They've come in swinging with a big bat, and they are announcing their arrival. They're saying Barcelona is back, ladies and gentlemen. We are once again a heavy player in the market. We've already signed Anthony Gordon. And of course, now the next target is Julian Alvarez. And while the news in regards to the Argentine is that Barcelona have officially submitted a bid for Julian worth 90 million euros fixed with 10 million euros in variables. Now, of course, this comes right a day after Barcelona reached a personal agreement with the player. Deco, Julian Alvarez's agent, and Juanma Lopez, who will act as an intermediary between both clubs, all met for 4 hours, during which a agreement was reached between Barcelona and Julian for Julian to join the club. So they agreed on all the personal terms, how long the contract would be, what the salary would be, variables, bonuses, you name it, all was agreed to. So now that Barcelona had the green light from the player, of course, the next step is to get the green light from Atletico Madrid. Well, they're now officially dubbed Patético Madrid. Pathetic, of course, means pathetic. And Barcelona submitted an offer worth 90 million euros fixed plus 10 million euros in variables. So a total package of 100 million euros for Julian Alvarez, which has been rejected. Yes, Atletico Madrid have rejected that offer, but it's reported that now Barcelona are preparing a second offer. And I hope you're sitting down for this. And if you are driving and listening, not watching, of course, because that will be dangerous, I hope you park to the side because this news is going to come as a shock. So I don't want you to crash into anyone. If you're eating, please stop. You might choke. If you're drinking water, same thing. Please stop. You might choke because it's reported that Barcelona are preparing a second offer for Julian Alvarez that would be worth around 135 million euros. Yes, you heard that right. 135 million euros. Again, I hope you didn't choke on your food, water. I hope you didn't crash or your fall because this to me is insane. 135 million euros to me is insane. What are we doing here? Don't get me wrong. Julian Alvarez, amazing player. Any team would be lucky to have him. But I'm sorry, he's not worth 135 million euros. What are we doing here? This is insanity. I know Barcelona are finally have the money. I know Barcelona finally going to reach the one-to-one rule. I know Barcelona are now happy that they finally can move in the market and sign whoever they want to sign after so many years of not being able to do so. But 135 million euros is insanity. What are we doing? Julian is not worth 135 million euros. He's not. Nobody is. If you're going to spend that much money, it better be on someone like Haaland. But not Julian. I'm sorry. This is nothing against Julian, but 135 million euros is total insanity. We are going back to the Bartomeu era, where we dropped all that money on Griezmann, we dropped all that money on Dembele, we dropped all that money on Coutinho, and for what? For nothing. 135 is insane. Right when I was starting to trust Deco, right when I was starting to think, oh my God, maybe Deco is a great sporting director. Maybe I was misjudging him because he went on and signed Anthony Gordon overnight, beating Bayern Munich, beating Liverpool, who have much deeper pocket than us. And what does he do? He is now preparing 135 million euros for Julian. That to me is crazy because here's the thing. You know what makes a good sporting director? Two things. Number one is signing players that fit the project. Players who come and accept, right? Identifying players who would be good to the project. And number two, being a good negotiator. Not only signing the player that you need, but getting a good deal for that player. Right now, Deco is doing none. I mean, for starters, it's Julian, right? I mean, wanting to sign Julian he's not discovering anything. It's not like, oh, hey guys, I got a really great player for you. Nobody knows about him. Nobody sees the potential except me. And it's this guy. And it's like, no, it's Julian Alvarez. We all know he's great. Like, you're not discovering fire here. And number two, being a good negotiator, what are you doing? Throwing money? Anybody could do that. I could go and sign Julian for 135 or 150. That's what Atletico want. Hey, Atletico, how much for this guy? This much. Okay, cool. Here's a check. Anybody could do that. I could do that. What makes a good sporting director is knowing how to negotiate and getting a good deal for a player. And I'm sorry, 135 million euros is not a good deal. As great as Julian is, he's not worth 135 million euros. I'm sorry, but he's not. Anyways, that's what Barcelona are doing. I think that Deco is straight up tripping with this one because I don't think he understands. We have the upper hand. We have the upper hand. We don't need to offer this much money. Julian doesn't want to stay at Atletico Madrid. He's already told them. He told them that he has doubts about their project. Of course he does. They're a piece of shit team. He's told them he doesn't want to renew. He's told them he wants to leave. And on top of all of that, he's told them he wants to come to Barca. What the fuck are we doing? We have the upper hand. Hey, Atletico, 90 million. No? Okay, bye. You're now stuck with a player who doesn't want to stay with you. Oh, okay, Barca, that's fine. PSG and Arsenal are also interested. Oh, that's cool. Julian doesn't want to go there either. We have the upper hand. What the fuck are we doing? Right when I was starting to think that Deco was a good sporting director, he goes and pulls this shit off. This, to me, absolute insanity. We are literally returning to the Bartomeu days where we're just throwing money at players. Throwing money where there's no need for that. But anyways, let's continue with the Julian Alvarez because today Atletico Madrid became officially Patético Madrid, which is Spanish for pathetic, because they posted a series of social media posts that, well, they thought would be maybe funny or would, I don't know, make them look good. But I think it backfired because instead it made them look like a very small club, like a pathetic club, like a crybaby club, which I guess is fitting. I mean, we had Real penalties cry all season about referees and Negreira and just blaming everything on refs and Negreira. So I guess it is fitting that their neighbor club, Patético Madrid, would also turn into this small-minded, pathetic cry club. Because let's look at the posts that Atletico Madrid did. Yes, this is Atletico Madrid through their official channels. This is not a parody account. This is not some Atletico Madrid fan or social media personality or influencer or content creator. No. This is the official account of Patético Madrid. And this is what they posted. It was first a series of 3 pictures. The first one was, of course, Lamine Yamal in the Patético Madrid jersey, and it says breaking. And, of course, the famous Fabrizio Romano, here we go. And it reads, this is in Spanish. Of course, I'm using a translation of Grok or Bach or Cock or whatever the fuck the name is of the AI of Twitter or X or whatever the fuck it's called now. But it says, here we go. We have sent a fax to FC Barcelona with our transfer offer. 4 tickets for tomorrow's Bad Bunny concert, an annual subscription to ABC, and a bag of sunflower seeds. We eagerly await the response to prepare the announcement. Then, second post today. This is how unhinged they are. They didn't just post one, they posted a bunch. Now, it was Pedri in the Patético Madrid kit. It says breaking. Here we go. Let me hit the translation button. For this second offer, we've had a problem. We've run out of tickets for tomorrow's concert, so we improved the previous proposal with 6 for the one on Sunday. Talking about the Bad Bunny concert, of course. And then they followed it with a third post, which is Rafinha, and of course in the Patético Madrid kit. And it says, here we go. Let me hit the translation. And to complete the 3x1, we've gotten all carried away, and we're going to throw the little house out the window. The player arrives on loan for a season, and in exchange, we loan out Tom Ford and Smith with no option to buy, an offer impossible to refuse. They're referring to these players whose names was made up by their president who was drunk at the time. Anyways, but yeah. So these 3 posts, and then of course there's more, right? Because again, they completely went full on unhinged. And then they posted this. It says, finally, we want to take this opportunity to categorically deny that we have made an offer to the sporting director of FC Barcelona to join our scouting team in the Brazilian market. And there's more. No, Atletico Madrid would never do something like that. However, in recent months, and this is where it gets really pathetic, in recent months, we've been suffering a smear campaign against one of our players, leaked information with ulterior motives, fake news, constant disrespect. What? The Collet version of the propaganda machine inventing little stories, calls before direct matchups. But of course, it wouldn't occur to us either to have the referee's vice president on our payroll or to resort to political favors to register players. Respect and values. So now, Atletico Madrid invoking the whole Negreira case and, well, acting like a victim. That, oh no, Barcelona is trying to sign one of our players. And here's my thing, and this is why I think that this is pretty embarrassing. But again, this is their official social media accounts, okay? This is not a parody account. This is not an influencer. No. This is their official account going on an unhinged rant today, posting 5 or 6 posts, acting like victims because Barcelona are interested in one of their players. And my question to them is, how did you get Julian Alvarez to begin with? Was he an academy player at Atletico Madrid? Did he sprout out of a tree that they have planted outside their stadium? Because my understanding is that they signed Julian from another club called Manchester City. And before that, Manchester City signed him from River Plate. So where is this victimism coming from? Because it's called a transfer market. It's a window where players are bought and sold and move between clubs. How is that another club being interested in one of your players all of a sudden the end of the world? That's literally how football works and how it's worked for decades. You buy players, you sell players. Unless Atletico Madrid have, a tree in their backyard that grows players that I'm not aware of, what are they offended about that Barcelona are interested in one of their players? It really offends you that clubs want to buy your players? Then maybe you shouldn't be in the business of football. Sell all your players, sell your stadium, take all that money and go, I don't know, open coffee houses or bars or I don't know. But you're clearly in the wrong business if you're getting offended that someone wants to buy a player, which, by the way, you just bought from another club. But anyways, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, this club, Atletico Madrid, will always be a small club. This is why they win one trophy every 10, 15 years. This is why this season, not only did they end trophyless, but they ended 20-plus points behind Barcelona. Because while these clowns are busy trolling on social media and embarrassing themselves in the process, Barcelona are busy getting to work, planning for next season, signing players, scouting players, winning trophies, which is, by the way, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But I'm not surprised that they're confused about that because they seem to be confused about how transfer markets work and how players are sold and bought. So I'm not surprised that they're also confused that what you're supposed to do in football is win trophies. And this is why they're not doing it. I guess it's just confusing overall. I don't think they were ever informed how football works. So just as they confused about how players are sold and bought, they're also confused about winning. And this is why they don't, right? So let me help you out. Let me give you a hand, Atletico Madrid, because the way football works, players are bought and sold. Players move between clubs. It's a business. And here's another tip. It's always good to win things. Just saying. I know you're not used to that. I know you win a trophy once every decade. But, that's usually the ultimate goal. So write that down somewhere. Maybe you could look at it next season. I don't know. But it's always good to know that. But anyways, Atletico Madrid, ladies and gentlemen, small club, pathetic club, trophyless club, and now, well, embarrassing themselves on social media. So, congratulations. You hit the trifecta. All right, let's start with the comment section, and then we are going to talk about Bernardo Silva, who could be Barcelona's second signing of the summer transfer market. But first, we have to look at the donation. Thank you so much, Rey Ramos, for the incredibly generous donation. As always, always supporting the channel. My Rey Ramos says, the fuck, 135 mil is Deco snorting coke, most likely. I'm trying to rationalize this, but my brain hurts. I love Alvarez. He's a great player, but he's not a 135 mil player. I still vote for either Dusan or Pedro as a striker. Yeah, I agree 100%. 135 mil is insane. I don't think Julian is worth that. I think Julian is an incredible player, but let's not forget, he scored 8 goals this La Liga season. And sure, people might say, well, Atletico's a defensive system, and I'm sure Julian would score more goals than Barca. 100%, I agree with that. But you know who else we said that about? Joao Felix. We also said that about Joao Felix. We said he's at Atletico Madrid, and it's not an offensive system. That's why he's not shining, and he came to Barca, and well, we saw the same of before. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with Julian, but there is no way you could justify 135 million euros for a player who only scored 8 goals in La Liga last season and who was never really a difference maker. He might have had maybe 1 or 2 matches where he made a difference, but overall, Julian, to me, at Atletico was never a player that I was like, wow, this guy just came on and that's it. He changed the outcome of the match. Because remember, they ended like 20-plus points behind Barca. So 135 mil is insane to me. It's crazy. I don't think Julian is worth that. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have Julian on Barca. Great player, but not for 135 mil. Second of all, the reason why I think it's crazy is because we are just recovering financially. Do we want to go back to where we were? Because let's not forget how we got there to begin with. Coutinho, Dembele, Griezmann. And that was just the top ones, right? We also threw a lot of money at a lot of other players. Do we want to go back there? Like, what are we doing here? And finally, like I said, we have the upper hand. What the fuck are you doing? Why? There's no need to offer that 135 mil. Offer 100, and that's it. I'm done. This is my max offer. You take it, great. If not, you're stuck with a player who doesn't want to be there. Why don't we not know how to negotiate? Deco, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And I wouldn't doubt that he's snorting coke. I mean, that's why he got kicked out of Barca to begin with. Not the coke, but the party. When Pep came and he was like, all right, Deco out, Ronaldinho out, all these fools out. But this is insane, man. This is absolutely insane. And yes, I would prefer Joao Pedro. I don't know about Dusan, but here's the thing. Dusan also scored that many goals in the Serie A. And Barca was like, nah, his numbers suck. So we don't want him, even though he would come for free. But hey, Julian, same numbers. Yeah, let's spend 135 mil. What are we doing? What are we doing? But anyways, we have a... Thank you so much, Shin, who has risen from the dead. We haven't seen Shin in a while. It's good to see you again, my friend. It's good to have you in the chat section. Shin says, I'm here, bro. Thanks for checking on my live status earlier. Of course. I was starting to get worried. I wasn't seeing you in the comments or in the chats or in the podcast. So I had to check on you. I'm sorry it's going rough for you at work. I hope it gets better. But yeah, it's like Barca Mama said, sometimes it sucks to have work ethic. It really does. Hey, this sounds counterintuitive, but sometimes the harder you work, the more work they throw at you. And it's like, meanwhile, the people who are not working hard, because they're not working hard, they don't throw work at them because like, they suck. No, don't give them work. But the guy who's busting his ass, give him more work because he can handle it. And the next thing you know, you're like working double as everyone else. But anyways, I don't know if that's a situation that's going on, but either way, I hope things get better. I hope you get more free time, especially on the weekends. Maybe enjoy some beer, a good barbecue steak today. Well, not today, maybe tomorrow and Sunday. But get some rest, my friend. Get some rest. Life is short. We did not come to this world to just, be born, work, and die. We got to enjoy life while we at it as well. But thank you for your generosity. And then let's look at what Java the Hot says because he says this is pathetic what Atletico are doing. Patetico. They're just showing they are an inferior club who are doing what they're doing to try and get people forget how pathetic and of a club and season they have. 100%. I mean, that's look that kind of shenanigans that they pulled today. It's the kind of shenanigans that a small club would pull. It really is. It really is. I mean, no. Can you imagine Bayern doing this, posting these kind of things? Can you imagine? I don't know, Manchester City, Arsenal, PSG posting that kind of thing on their official pages? I don't see it. I mean, it was cringe city, honestly. When I saw those posts, it was cringe city. I was like, I felt embarrassed for them. And honestly, if Barcelona ever did that, I would be like blowing up the phone and the emails of Barca, demanding that whoever made that post and whoever approved those posts to be fired immediately. I mean, that is just pathetic. Now, I think Barcelona should now respond to that. I think we need to show them that we are the bigger club here. And, leave it up to the people like me, YouTubers. You know, we'll do the work for that for Barca. I think Barca needs to show Patetico Madrid that they're a small, pathetic club, and we're not even gonna entertain their patheticness because the wolves are not. The wolves don't worry about the opinion of the sheep. But anyways, Barca Mamo says happy Friday, Mo, and the Barca News fam. Amen. Happy Friday, everyone. I love Fridays, and because of that, I'm gonna drink some wine because it's Friday, and I'm happy because it's Friday. Mm, 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 mm. By the way, I was supposed to fly to Argentina this Sunday, but I moved my flight to the following week. So I'm gonna fly out the following weekend to Argentina. Of course, for those of you who are new to the channel, when I do fly out of the country, go somewhere else, I always take my camera with me. I still make videos every day, so don't worry. I'll still get your news. I'm definitely not stopping making news, especially during this summer transfer market where Barca like friggin' just swinging, came in swinging. But I'm gonna see if I can maybe go to any matches, even though I don't know much about Argentine football because I know it's winter down there, so usually their season is going on. But I know the World Cup is going on, will be going on as well. So I don't know if they're gonna pause their championship while the World Cup happening, or if it's gonna keep going, but without the players who travel with Argentina, even though most of them play in Europe. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't follow Argentine football. But if it is going on, maybe I'll try to go to a match, take my camera with me, make a video. I made that video of my visit to the Monumental, which is the River Plate Stadium. Incredible experience, by the way. Incredible experience. Nobody enjoys football matches like South Americans do. And so I recommend you see the video. It's on the channel if you haven't seen it yet. I also went to the Camp Nou, made a video. So if you want to see that, and to the Estadio Johan Cruyff, my dream would be to just visit every stadium in the world and just make videos about it. But of course, I don't have the money for that. But that's neither here or there. Anyways, let's do one more comment and then we'll move on to the next news. But Klaus, my man Klaus, says Gvardiol. Is it Gvardiol or is it Wardiol? I never know. But anyways, we'll call him G. What up, G? Would be a dream in defense for me. He would be an excellent signing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Actually, let's do one more comment. I'm in comment mode. The R9 Gaming says Deco sniffing that coke this transfer market. Yeah, he got a shipment of that good coke. So that's why he's all like going crazy. And I was gonna do the next bit of news, but we do have another donation. Thank you so much, Shin, again for your generous donation. But she says, full disclosure, yes, I've been working a lot. However, I gained enough followers on TikTok to go live. Been experimenting with that too. If you ever want to do a tandem live on Barca, I'll be your Huckleberry. That's amazing. Hell yeah. Wait, what's your TikTok about? Is it a football TikTok or is it like work-related TikTok? Because I've been seeing a lot of channels blow up of people filming themselves doing their work. Whether it be, in your case, obviously electrician, or I've seen, like, for example, I follow this channel, this guy who's a hoof trimmer in Scotland. He trims hoofs of cows. It's fucking fascinating. I never thought I would be so fascinated with a hoof of a cow, right? So this guy just takes his camera to work with him and just films himself doing the work. And it's amazing. And I've been seeing a lot of channels like that blow up. People who do landscaping, filming themselves, cutting grass and bushes, and, or carpenters, filming themselves doing work. I remember I used to follow this guy's channel who used to make videos about, he was a plumber, and he would just film like the jobs that he would do. Interesting jobs. But anyways, I'm like blabbering. But is that what you're chatting about? Is it like you doing electrical work, or is that you talking about Barca? Because if it is, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. Let's do a tandem live. As far as if it's electrician work, I got nothing to add because I know nothing about electricity. I just know that when I hit the switch, the light comes on. How? Don't ask me. But anyways, let's get back to the news. Oh my God, we're at the 30th minute and I'm not even at the second segment. But let's get back to the news. We do have to talk about what could be Barcelona's second signing during this summer transfer market, with Anthony Gordon, of course, being the first, because Barcelona are closing in on the signing of Bernardo Silva. Yes, the 31-year-old Portuguese midfielder whose contract is expiring at the end of June 30th. He will become officially a free agent, and Barcelona are closing in on his signing. Now, Bernardo Silva has offered himself to Barcelona a million times this past month. We've talked about it extensively on this channel. And, he's been, through his agent, of course, offering himself, wanting to come to Barcelona because it is a dream of his. And in fact, he has informed Barcelona that he'd be willing to reduce his salary. What's his name? Bernardo Silva earns approximately, or was earning, I should say, since he is going to become a free agent, 16 million euros at Manchester City. And he's willing to accept an 8 million euro salary at Barcelona. So he's willing to halve his salary. And of course, not to mention, he would be coming for free because he will be a free agent since his contract is expiring. Now, Bernardo Silva does have lucrative offers from other clubs, including Saudi clubs, where he could be earning the same thing that he's earning at Man City. But he has instructed his agent, Jorge Mendes, to, not pay attention to the highest bidder. His goal is to play at Barca. It's a dream of his, and he would like to fulfill the dream before retiring. And as such, he has offered himself multiple times to the club. And even though originally the club were not in favor of this signing, it's reported that Hansi Flick has given this signing the green light. And as such, Barcelona are now closing in on the signing of Bernardo Silva, who is looking like, it's looking like he will become Barcelona's second signing. Now, Athletic Madrid were also keen on signing him. So looks like Barcelona will beat out Athletic Madrid, which of course would be absolutely hilarious, especially after they just embarrassed themselves on social media with their pathetic small club-like posts. Now, here's the thing. With Bernardo Silva signing, it's very likely that Rashford will not be coming to the club, because it was kind of like Rashford or Silva, and well, Barcelona prefer Bernardo Silva. Now, I don't know which one I prefer. I think if you gave me to choose, I would say none. But I gotta say this: Bernardo Silva has played a lot as a right winger at Man City, so I think he could become a decent substitute for Lamine Yamal. Now, if you ask me why not Bernardo Silva, well, it's pretty easy. He's 31. He's about to be 32 this summer. So when he joins the club, he's going to be 32. I think the best years of Bernardo Silva are behind him. Don't get me wrong, an incredible midfielder at Man City. I think he was absolutely magic. Um, I think under Pep Guardiola, he was just, I mean, he was key in Man City winning the Champions League. But of course, this is not the same Bernardo Silva from 3, 4 seasons ago, right? This is a Bernardo Silva that's entering the final years of his career. I mean, he himself has admitted that he was looking for his next destination to be a beach destination with good food. That right there tells you everything that, this guy is just looking for, a final cushy job as opposed to being, hungry to win more and to add trophies to his cabinet. So if you gave me a choice, I would say no to Bernardo Silva. In fact, I said that multiple times on the channel every time he was offered to the club. But on the other hand, Flick has given the green light, and in Flick we trust. So if Flick thinks Bernardo Silva could be a good addition, what the fuck do I know? Welcome to the club, my friend. Now, of course, my other problem was that Bernardo Silva is naturally a midfielder, and we have a million midfielders. So that's the last thing we should be looking to sign. But again, he has played as a right winger many, many times, done a good job playing as a right winger many, many, many times. So I think he could be a really good alternative to Lamine Yamal, especially since we've seen Rooney Bardarji not really ready to be that substitute. So I think the best thing would be to send Rooney Bardarji on loan so he can get the minutes, develop, grow, get better. And in the meantime, why not Bernardo Silva, I guess, but only because Flick has given the green light. Obviously, if Flick hadn't given the green light, I would be like, Deco, what the fuck are we doing? Because, again, I'm not sold on this signing, but in Hansi Flick we trust. And if Flick has okayed this, then, well, it's okay with me. So it looks like Bernardo Silva will become Barcelona's second signing. I just hope there's no signing bonus because, free players are never free. Mbappe was free technically because Real penalties didn't pay any transfer fee to PSG. But then we found out that Real penalties paid Mbappe 120 mil. Can you imagine paying 120 mil for someone to blow up your team? But then they want to make fun of the Anthony Gordon signing, saying we got ripped off. Yeah, okay. You spend 120 on Mbappe, another 200 million on Mastantuono, Carreras, and Huijsen, 300 million to end up 2 seasons trophyless. But anyways, that's neither here or there. Bernardo Silva, let me know what you guys think. Yes, no, maybe. Do you like him? Do you hate him? Do you not care? Let me know in the chat section or in the comment section if you're watching this when it ends. And now let's go back to the comment section. I have this lingering cough that won't go away. But before we go back to the comment section, I got to take a sip of wine. Because it's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. All right, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Do you guys know what song I'm talking about? Really horrible song, horrendous song. It went viral on YouTube. This girl made this song. It's called It's Friday. It was really, really bad. She obviously, it's not really a parody. She made it thinking it was good, but it was fucking awful. But it was so awful, it went viral. This was several years ago. But anyways, great song. It's Friday. Look it up. Shit, with the third on it. Damn, she making it rain on me. But Shin says, just a general live. Yes, some work is involved, but I also do one I've titled Garage Sitting and Tea Spilling. But after hosting me on the Mocast, I can hold my own with some Barca talk. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But yeah, I'm down, man. Let's do it. Message me on a Discord server. By the way, there's a Discord server for the channel for those who are channel members. I've noticed only like half of the members are on that Discord server. So channel members, if you're a member, join the Discord. But yeah, Shin, hit me up, man. Let's do it. And by the way, I'm restarting the Mocast this weekend. I know I haven't done it like in over a month, but I'm restarting the Mocast this weekend. So maybe we can do it again where we can, do the Mocast with the members, one member at a time every week. So let me know. By the way, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a Mocast. Well, there's supposed to be a Mocast. I haven't been doing it lately. But it's a weekly podcast on the weekends that's for channel members only. And for a while, we did a series of I would have a channel member join me during the Mocast. and kind of do like, a little interview, but at the same time, it's like a little back and forth about Barca. So yeah, if you're interested in watching the Mocast and being part of the Mocast as a guest and um, joining the Discord server, you can become a member, and that's how you do it. But yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down. I like that. Garage sitting and tea spilling. I love it. I love it. But yeah, you should consider doing it at work, man. There's a lot of demand for that. People want to see that. It's interesting, right? Seeing people do things that you know nothing about, like electrical work. I know nothing about electrical work. Like if you open up the wall and I look at the cables, I'd probably get my ass electrocuted like instantly. But anyways, I do know how to you know turn on and off the forgot what it's called, the switch, the one that cuts off the electricity. Anyways, see, that's how much I know about electricity. Anyways, thank you, my friend, for your donation. Let's get back to the comments, which we never left. So I don't know why I'm saying we get back to them. But breaker, thank you, Shane. Breaker box. I know how to turn on and off breakers. That's pretty good, right? That's just kidding. I didn't even remember that they were called breakers. Oh, God help me. God help me. Klaus says, I like the YouTube channel living the sky life, living on the island of Skye in Scotland's beautiful, peaceful life. Living the sky life. Let's look at this. Living the sky life. Living the sky. By the way, I was in Scotland back in March. And my God, what a beautiful place. What a beautiful place. Cold, very windy, gorgeous place. I went to the Highlands. I was in Edinburgh. Beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful place. Scotland is definitely a beautiful place. Living the sky life. Okay. I'm seeing this. All right. So is this like here? Let me share it with everybody so everybody knows what the hell am I looking at. All right, there we go. The ups and downs of island life. This is why we chose to move to Scottish Island. Okay. All right. Nice. Like this. So the channel I watch, it's called that's not the name. Don't Google It's called fuck, what is it called? Damn it. The Hoof GP. The Hoof GP. That's the channel I like to watch. It's again a hoof trimmer in Scotland, and he just goes to farms and trims cows' hoofs. And I don't know how the hell I came across that channel. I think it was just my algorithm was like, here's a random video of a cow with an abscess and with, pus squirting out of its hoof. Watch it. And then I watched it and then I just got hooked. And then, it's like such a common thing. Like, I don't know. I think cows are beautiful creatures. So I love seeing the cows. I love seeing them getting help. And then, they every now and then they pan out on the views. And, Scotland's such a beautiful country. It's a good channel. It's a good channel. But I'm rambling. Let's see. C-Tar says, I'm watching you from Barngabong County, Liberia. Let's go. I hope I said that correctly, by the way. I'm sorry if I didn't. But let's go all the way from Liberia. I love it. And BU says Osimhen is the player for Barca, and we all know that. A Ronaldo attitude and a deep hunger to make history. Barca should get him. He's only 27 years old. I mean, shit, if they're going to spend 135 mil on Julian, might as well go for Osimhen, who they're saying would cost not 100, something around there. But, of course, the problem is Barcelona have a question mark next to Osimhen's name. They like his profile as a player, but the problem is his attitude. That's what Barcelona are not happy with. Barca Reloaded says the crazy part is that Barca hasn't made any official public statements regarding the Julian Alvarez transfer. They can sue for what they are doing. I mean, here's the thing. Pathetic Madrid are pathetic. That's all I got to say, honestly. Alex said, bro, said Deuce and Ew, he's trash. As for Pedro, he's not on sale and he'll be 100 million. Alvarez was bought for 95. What do you expect to get him for 90? No, Alvarez wasn't bought for 95. I think it was 75. But don't worry, because we can look it up. That's the beautiful thing about living during the age of information. We don't have to guess. We can look it up. All right, let's see how much Julian Alvarez costs. Bum, bum, beat-um, bum, bum, beat-um, bum. There it is. All right. I got the Julian Alvarez transfer market profile. 75 mil. That's what he was signed for. So 75 mil in his contract. What is it? 2032, 2033, 2030. Okay. So he was signed last year. 2025 to 2030 is 5 years. Okay. If you divide 75 by 5 years, that's what? 15? 15. That's 15 million a season amortization rate. Okay. Julian has already spent a whole season at Atletico Madrid, which means they've already amortized 15 million out of his 75 million transfer fee. So if Barcelona were to sign him for 90 million, that would be a 40 million euro profit for Atletico, because they've already amortized 15 million, and 75 minus 15, sorry, that's 60 million, not 50. Okay. So he cost 75. They've already amortized 15. That means they still have 60 million to amortize for Julian. So if Barca sign him for 90, that's a 30 million euro profit for Atletico. If they sign him for 100, well, that's a 40 million euro profit for Atletico. So what do I expect to get him for 90? Absolutely. 30 million euros profit for a player you had for one season. That's a great flip. Wouldn't you think? But anyways, let's see. What else? Jeffrey says, I don't think he's worth more than 80 mil. I don't see him better than Rafa, not even Rashford. Chill, bro. Chill. Definitely better than Rashford. Better than Rafinha as well. Now, don't forget, performance and talent, two different things. Okay? I think Rafinha has been performing better, but I think talent-wise, Julian is more blessed. As far as Rashford, God bless his heart, talented player, but I mean, that guy is hot and cold. He's like spring in New York. One day it's hot, one day it's cold. What else? Creed says Pedro is the same scenario, but Chelsea are smarter than Atletico and will take 90 to 100 mil, and Xavi will not stand this drama. He will make the sale. I agree. And this is why I think, what the fuck are we doing? I think we should have sent that offer, 90 plus 10, and be like, this is our first and final offer. If you want it, great. If not, you're stuck with a player who doesn't want to be there, who you can't sell to other clubs because he doesn't want to go to other clubs. He wants to come to us. So whenever you feel like it, pick up the phone and let us know when you're ready to accept. And then I would go and just negotiate with Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea have said Joao Pedro is not for sale, but guess what? Joao Pedro also wants Barca, so they're going to have to be forced to negotiate. Also, Chelsea have a huge financial fair play problem. They're going to be forced to sell players. Again, go negotiate with Chelsea. What the fuck are we doing? 135 million, man? This is insanity. But anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news. And this is going to be the last bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, the guy who all of you have been asking for has officially been offered to Barcelona, and his name is Josko Gvardiol. Is it Gvardiol? Is it Gvardiol? I don't fucking know. We're gonna go with Gvardiol. We're gonna go with Josko. There. Problem solved. Now, Josko Gvardiol, by now, all of you know who he is. 24 years old, center back, currently playing at Manchester City. Has a contract with Manchester City until 2028. Someone that Barcelona are big fans of. But up to this point, or until today, even though Deco was a huge fan and would have loved to sign him, it was always seen as an impossible signing. Why? Because, of course, Josko Gvardiol, incredibly important piece for Pep Guardiola, right? Very important player. This is like trying to sign Pau Cubarsí from Barca. It's not happening, right? Pau Cubarsí is it's an untouchable defender for Hansi Flick. Same thing for Josko Gvardiol as far as Pep Guardiola. But of course, things have changed since Barcelona considered his signing, but moved on because they thought it was impossible. And well, that thing that changed is that Pep Guardiola is leaving. Well, he's already announced he's leaving. So it's official. It's no longer rumors. Pep Guardiola is no longer Man City's coach. He will not be Man City's coach next season. Of course, this doesn't mean that Josko Gvardiol all of a sudden is no longer important for Manchester City. He's still going to be important. But the difference is that now with Pep gone, well, Josko's like, what am I doing here? Right? It's Manchester. Fucking cold. It's foggy. It's rainy. Light blue. Who the fuck wants to wear light blue? It's a pretty ugly color. So now he has officially offered himself to Barcelona through his agent, because now with Pep gone, he would, he's looking to make a move, with Barcelona being his, preferred destination. Now, of course, Josko Gvardiol will be a great addition to Barcelona. We're talking about a left-footed center back, exactly what Barcelona are looking for. And not only that, he's a versatile left-footed center back, because he could also play as a left back. In fact, he's played as a left back a lot of times during this season. Now, despite the player offering himself to the club, for now, he's just an option. This is not something that Barcelona are looking to complete right now, because, of course, right now the focus is the attack. Left wing, check. We've signed Anthony Gordon. Now the focus is the center forward, with hopefully someone coming pretty soon. Barcelona trying to wrap up the center forward position before the World Cup begins. And then once those positions are wrapped up, and Barcelona could consider a signing of a center back, even though I imagine Josko Gvardiol will be expensive. After all, Man City did pay, if I'm not mistaken, 90 million for him 2 or 3 seasons ago. So expect a hefty price. Maybe not 90 million again, because his contract does expire in 2028. So he only has 2 years left on his contract, but is not going to be cheap. And of course, with Barcelona spending a lot of money on Anthony Gordon and looking to spend even more money on the center forward position, I don't know if there's going to be enough money left for Gvardiol. But nonetheless, I think this would be a great addition. Gvardiol next to Cubarsí, I think it would be one hell of a defensive pairing. But again, this is not a priority right now. Barcelona are focused on a center forward. Once they wrap that up, we'll see whether there's enough money to bring someone like Gvardiol. Hopefully, because I think it would be a great addition. But I want to hear what you guys think. What do you think about Josko Gvardiol to Barca? Is this something you would be in favor of? Something you would be against? Let me know down below in the chat section or in the comment section if you're watching this once it ends. And with that, let's get back to the comment section. And we do have all of the donations. Shin just making it rain. Making it rain. Shin with another donation today. Says, gave you the follow, brother. I'm looking forward to it whenever you are ready to do it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Ooh, my AC just hit. It just turned on. I'm feeling the cold air on the back of my neck. It feels amazing. And because it feels amazing, I'll take another sip of wine. But thank you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your several donations. And yes, let's make it happen. I want to do a live. Let's do it. Let's do it. Raz, my man. Raz, it's always good to see you in the chat section, my friend. For those of you who don't know, Ross is an OG of the channel, just like Shane, just like Barca Mama, just like Klaus. They've been around for a long time. I think Klaus was like the first one. I think Klaus is the OG. But Ross is up there too. Ross has been around for a very long time. He comes and goes, but that's okay. We still love him. But Ross says, hi, Mo. Barca be signing players. Gordon is going to shine like Targaryen flying fire dragon into the sun. Question, Mo, would you have Pep back in a couple of years after Flick? Man, I would have Pep back whenever he wants to. I mean, Pep, I think, was our greatest coach, and I would love to have him anytime. But of course, Pep has made it very clear that, he's not looking to coach Barca again. If he does come back to Barca, it's not going to be in a coaching capacity. He would be more looking like, I don't know, management, something along like those lines. But, it's unfortunately, it's not something I see it happening. Unless, he has a change of heart. But for now, he's always said that no. And then he says 130 mil for 20 more, we can get Haaland. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Haaland will be for sale. Maybe, now that Pep is gone. But yeah, I mean, for that kind of money, here's the thing. For that kind of money, you should only be looking to sign the creme de la creme. Okay? The Lamine Yamals of the world. The Mbappes of the world. The Messis of the world. The Penaldos of the world. And the Haalands of the world. Right? For 30 mil, 35 mil, whatever. That's the kind of player you should be looking for. And I don't think Julian is that. Again, this is not to say Julian is not good. Whenever I say something like that, people are like, Mao said Julian is the worst player in the history and he should be playing in 5th division. That's not what I'm saying. Julian, excellent player. But he's not creme de la creme. He's not a Messi. He's not a Penaldo. He's not an Mbappe or a Haaland. He's not. Okay? Excellent player. But he's not that. And as such, we shouldn't be spending creme de la creme money on a just creme money. On a creme player. Not creme de la creme, right? And that's my problem with that. It's just a lot of money, man. Just a lot of freaking money. What are we doing? Right? What are we doing? Anyways. And again, this is I'm not trying to hate on Julian. I'm not. Amazing player. Amazing player. Just not worth 135. He's just not. You can get maybe a BMW, great car, but you wouldn't spend, I don't know, $300,000 on it, right? Because it's not worth that. You can spend that maybe on the Lambo. Okay, that's worth that. That doesn't mean that BMWs all of a sudden are shit cars. They're not. They're great cars. But would you spend $300,000 on an M3? You wouldn't, right? Not because an M3 is shit. It's just not worth that, right? Anyways, Mark says, Mo, Silva will be a great backup for Pedri. When Pedri isn't playing, there's a big drop-off. Whenever anyone else plays, the drop-off is massive and glaring. Maybe. Look, I'm not taking away from what Silva can do. Obviously, he's a great midfielder. I mean, under Pep, he was amazing. Plus, he would fit right in, right? He's spent, 9 seasons under Pep. He obviously knows how to play the way we play. But my problem is I feel like he's not hungry anymore. It's like, when you hear Wojciech Szczesny speak, I love having him around. Don't get me wrong. He's funny. He's hilarious. But, that guy is just done. He's just having fun. He's having a good time, which is fine. We all reach a stage where, all right, let's say we're going to have fun. But Barca right now, we're trying to win the Champions League. We're trying to compete for everything. And in order to achieve that, we need players who are hungry, not just talented, but are hungry. Look at Koundé. Great right back, right, for past seasons. But look how he was this season. Looked like shit. It's not like he forgot how to play football. You don't forget how to play football. It's not like he lost his skills or talents like, what's that movie, Space Jam? There you touch the ball, and it's not like he lost his skills and talent. He still has them, but because his lack of hunger is why we saw Kunde walking, jogging, and that's what happens with players who are no longer hungry. Doesn't matter how skilled or talented they are. When you lack that hunger, you're not gonna go the extra mile. And what do I mean by that? I mean that last minutes of the match where you're tired, you're exhausted, you're out of breath. You feel like your heart is just gonna jump out of your chest because it's beating so hard. Your legs hurt. You feel like you're gonna fall over because you're just so tired, so exhausted. You just wanna drop to the ground and take a nap because you're just done. But the clock is not over, and you need that goal to make it through the next phase. And this is where hunger comes in. Those who are hungry, who want that trophy so badly, that motivation is what gonna push that player who even though has no energy left, his legs are giving out. That hunger is what gonna motivate that player to still keep going, even though they feel like your legs are about to give out. But for someone like Bernardo Silva, who's won everything there is to win, who's at the end of the career, that's when you're like, fuck it, I'm tired, man. Fuck this shit. I'm just gonna ask for substitution, or maybe I won't try to go fight for that ball right there because too far. I'm not gonna make it. You know, half of this game is a mental battle, and when you're not that hungry for it, you lose that mental battle. Edward says, "Hey, what's up, Mo? The Saudis are trying to give Cancelo away from 15 to 10. What do you think?" I think Barcelona are doing the right thing about just not focusing on Cancelo and getting Al Hilal nervous, right? Because Al Hilal don't want Cancelo. Cancelo doesn't want them. So we have the upper hand, big time. Let them sweat. I do this at work all the time, by the way. I negotiate with adjusters all the time. And I'll call an adjuster. Hey, I want to settle this case. And they make me a stupid offer. And I know I'm in good position. I know I have a good case. I know it's worth more. I'm like, okay, bye. I hang up. And I let the case sit weeks, sometimes months. And guess what? They eventually call and make me the offer that I'm looking for. Because when you have the standing, when you are the one who has nothing to lose, you know who has all the cards in your hand, fuck it. Let them sweat it. They're the ones who need to get rid of him, right? Cancelo doesn't want to be there. They don't want him there. They're the ones who have the problem, not us. We're good. We chilling. We happy. We just signed Gordon. We're about to sign Silva. We Gucci. Let them sweat. Let's see. Chin says, hoof trimming. Give me the heebie-jeebies. I'm always afraid of them going too deep. Yeah. I just like, I have a fascination with abscesses being popped. When it goes out. And just the bus squirts out. I don't know why. I just like, yesterday I watched this cow. It was like this random video that my algorithm showed me. And it was like this cow who had this huge abscess. I'm talking about like a massive abscess. And like this guy just like squirts some iodine on it, rubs it, and then he grabs like a blade and he just like pokes a hole and he's like, I mean, that thing was like draining for like 10 minutes straight. It was just like liters and liters of freaking pus. And I was like, oh, I mean, and here's a fucked up part. I kind of want to smell it. Like, I know it's going to smell awful, but I kind of want to smell it. Benji says, Mo, how you doing? Is experience for our midfielders. They can learn a lot from Silva. True. They can. Barca Got Cultures has been watching the channel for years and just now know where there is a Discord. There is, but it's only for channel members. So you do have to be a channel member to access the Discord. But yes, there is a Discord server. And D. Joe Thomas says, quick to say, Alvarez only scored 8 league goals and leave out. He scored 10 goals in 15 games in the Champions League. If Julian can give us more than Lewy, it's a huge win. I mean, again, I'm not hating on Julian. Do not misconstrue what I'm trying to say. But is he worth 135 mil or 130 mil, which is Barcelona was trying to pay? I don't think so. I don't think so. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I know I'm going to butcher your name. I do it every time, but I'm going to try my best. Chiedu Onya says, I would prefer Salah to Silva when it comes to the attack department. After all, they're both free agents. True, but they're saying Salah would demand like a really big salary, you know, and that's a problem. That's a problem. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? Bam, 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 bam. TBH says, pick my comment, Mo. Scroll up. I picked your comment, but I don't think that's the comment you wanted me to pick. Sorry, there's just a lot of comments. Barca Reloaded says, Bernardo Silva is going to be like when we signed Gundogan. Good players, but it's a checklist move for them since they always admired Barca. That's what I fear too, my friend. That's what I fear too. Because Gundogan in City was amazing. And then, you know, he comes towards the end of his career and it's kind of like, you're good. But, you know, hunger really does make a difference. It really does. And Ross says, sorry, Mo, I suffer from depression on and off. And when I'm off, I tell you, bro, I'm off and offline. Good to detach from social media anyways. Travel too. I know, my friend. I know you told me that before. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry you go through that. It's, you know, I've been there. It's awful. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do. All right? You got to do what you got to do. And Kerry says, isn't Gvardiol the same player that Messi castrated at the World Cup? Why are we trying to sign a player who lost his balls? I mean, man, if we going to avoid signing any player that Messi castrated, we're not going to be able to sign anyone. Because, you know, Messi has castrated everybody. He's like a freaking vet at a dog clinic. But anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Another fun and successful podcast. Thanks to you guys leaving all your comments in the chat section. If you're watching this when it ends, please let me know what you guys think about the news. Julian, Bernardo Silva, Josko, Patético Madrid. Obviously, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get all the best news about Barca. I will be uploading another video shortly because there's more news that we have to cover. So stay tuned to the channel. And as always, peace, Barca.